Hello everyone, Seraphin here. Welcome back for more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. When I last left you guys, we had a little bit of a kerfuffle, but we've managed to resolve that. And we're back into finishing up this prisoner release mission here. And so, I'm going to get things started off right here. Hopefully, at any rate. And we're going to start finally moving the people that have been sitting in this prison cell for however long. And get them ready to go. We're actually just going to go ahead and keep Oscar and Soren out of the way for now. Although Soren can kind of leave whenever he wants to. We don't really need him any longer. He was just there to help us kill the boss. So I think what we're going to do is just have him escape whenever. We do still need Oscar, however. He's going to be integral to getting the rest of some of the other people out of the way and successfully in time, rather. So, speaking of, let's make sure that soldier is out of the way. We're going to have Soren make for the getaway area here. And make sure I don't run into anything here, because it would be bad. We're going to put Marsha right here. That should do it. And Titania goes out there with her. You may be wondering why I'm not talking to Kieran, but I did talk to Braum, and there is a reason for that. At the end of this chapter, we are actually going to be receiving we're going to be receiving Nephany, Braum, and Kieran as recruitable units, starting in the next chapter. That being said, in order to get Braum and Nephany, you actually do have to talk to them, whereas Kieran will join regardless. So even if you don't talk to Kieran, just completing the chapter, he'll be broken out of prison, and he'll just join your team up automatically. Whereas, I don't know why Braum and Nephany have to be talked to recruit them, and Kieran doesn't, but at any rate, it's not required. If you talk to him, he just says, "Hey, it's nice to see you guys, let's fight." And then it's like, wait, I don't have any weapons. And he doesn't actually... I think he does actually join you right away. He might, like, turn into a blue unit when you talk to him. I don't actually know offhand. I know for a fact when you talk to Sephirin, nothing happens. He just says, "Hey, I was, a traveling monk, and I was... taken prisoner and left here, and I don't know why." We'll actually have a little bit of a side conversation with him after the chapter's over, so we're not going to not talk to him at all, just not right this minute. So anyway, we're going to have Soren go ahead and get out of here. Bye, Soren. And again, I got to make sure I don't screw anything up here, so... Put Marsha right here. And Titania right here. So we're almost done, actually. This is not... once you get the boss taken care of, it's kind of a cakewalk, just because you just need to avoid the people and get the heck out of the dodge. Alright, we're on turn 15. That's good times, right? So watch out for this guy and this fellow. Oh, geez, this could be an issue. Move Marsha down here. And Titania right there. That should do it. And again, Oscar's not going to be seen because he's in a spot where he, can't be seen, so that's nice. The problem is having to weave around these stupid pillars to make sure that nobody sees you. And based on the way that their patterns go, it's just... You're doing a lot of backtracking, and it's a pain in the neck, but it can be done, as you're seeing here, so... We'll just get everybody out of the way. Oscar can stay where he is. So I apologize again. Before we got started, I apologize before about the tedium of this whole process. But this is going to be the only chapter where I do anything like this. There are other chapters in the game where you can get boatloads of extra XP from doing certain things that are kind of out of the ordinary. There's one big chapter like that in particular. And that's coming, I think it's chapter 15 is that one. And then chapter, I want to say 23 is another one. But yeah, so they're not too drastic. Certainly nothing like this where I need to plan out my every single move. But you still got to be careful doing the side objectives in those ones. Whereas this one you can be, this one's very, very deliberate if you want to avoid getting detected. The other ones are not so bad. They're just like, hey, don't do this. Or do this. It's usually don't do this. But, and again, these objectives that I'm going out of my way to do, they're not required to complete the game or complete the chapter. They just give you very substantial rewards if you make the time and effort to do them. And those rewards, in my opinion, are very much worth it, which is why I'm doing all of this. Obviously, if I didn't think it was worth it, I wouldn't be bothering. But a boatload of bonus experience that I can use to beef up my less than adequate units to make them competitive and put a lot less effort into them, I'm perfectly happy to do all of that. Marsha might need some bonus XP herself, so the fact that she's here contributing means she's going to be earning it pretty much. By the way, I did actually, because my emulator crashed last episode, I went ahead and restarted the chapter, but I took the opportunity to give Ilyana some bonus experience. She got some okay level ups. They weren't spectacular, but she did get a decent chunk of strength. I did give her the speed wings, and she's actually got halfway decent defense and HP now too. The only thing I'm concerned about with her still is her magic. It's still only 10, and she's level 13. So we're going to need to work on that, I think. But I think she's actually got halfway decent growth. So I'm hoping that from now on, we can make that. Let's make sure Oscar's in the right spot here. Right here. That should do. So now comes the fun part where we get everybody moved up and out of this bottom area. For the most part. Still got to deal with Nephany here, but again, she's not too difficult to take care of, so. And we're going to drop Volk right here in front of the cell again. And we're just going to leave Marsha right where she is. Wait a second. Oh, right here. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Where do I want to put her? Put her right here. I could have put her over there, I suppose, but this is easier. We're going to have Oscar on station to help with some rescuing that might be necessary momentarily. That will be necessary momentarily. So we're going to crack open Nephany's cell here and get her out. Now, normally I would just leave her there, but unfortunately, like with Brahm and Nephany, or Brahm and Kieran rather, but unfortunately when the guard is right here and her cell door is open, he can see in there and spot her. So we actually need to rescue her and get her out of there. So first things first, we're going to crack open the door. And we're going to have Marsha go up here and rescue her. And then tuck ourselves up here, just out of the range of that guard, presumably. And we're going to grab Volk out of the way, because he's right there. So pick him up, grab him, run away. And get Titania all the way over here. And she's currently carrying Ike, so as soon as we escape with Ike, the chapter is over, so we don't want to do that just yet. We want to make sure we grab some treasure first, obviously. You can't leave without taking all the loot, right? So I think where Marsha is, she's just in range of that guy. So we're going to move her up one more space to make sure she's out of the way. So as you can see, if Nephany had stood there, she'd have been detected, and this whole thing would have been for nothing, so... We're going to drop Volk right here inside the treasure room. As you might imagine, he'd be fun to be in. And then we're going to put Titania in here and drop Ike inside the boss room as well. So now we just got to worry about getting Marsha out of that cell without being seen. It's not too difficult, thankfully, but... Alright, so we're going to start cracking open some treasure. Let's see what we got. Counter skill. Alright, well, as I've spent the last few chapters explaining, counter's not really all that good, so probably we'll just end up selling that for money if I'm being totally honest. But that's okay. Let's see, what else do I need to do? We need to get Marsha out of where she is, although I don't think I can do it right this minute. Yeah, in fact, I can't move anybody right now because this guy's just right in my way, so we're just going to leave everybody where they are. And now comes the fun part where we just spend a lot of turns opening treasure, because that's what you do. Let's go ahead and crack another one. A javelin. Alright, cool. I think I could buy those, but I'll take a free one. Not going to complain about that. I think we can get Marsha out of here now. So why don't we do that? Put her right here. Yeah, that should do it. Yep, sounds good to me. And again, we need to actually talk to Nephany in order to recruit her, so I'm going to end up dropping her inside the boss room so Ike can talk to her real quick, and then just pick her right back up and rescue her and get out. Let's open another chest. What do we got here? A short axe, nice. That's just a better hand axe, actually. So in the Game Boy Advance games, they had the hand axe, which was okay, and then they went straight to the tomahawk, which was ridiculous. The short axe is like a middle ground between the two of those, between a hand axe and a tomahawk. The tomahawk's still in here, but it's really rare and expensive and awesome. All right, what are we doing with Marsha again? We gotta make sure we're not in range of anybody. We're gonna drop Nephany right here in the doorway, I think. And then we'll have Ike talk to her. He says the exact same thing pretty much to her as he said to Brom. Nephany's like, I don't know. That sounds sketch. Nah, she's alright. Alright, so then we're going to have Oscar grab Nephany, and we're going to escape. We can't escape the turn we grabbed her because it takes a full turn to do, so we're just going to escape with them two next turn. And I don't think we need to do anything with Titania right now, so we're just going to be done there. And this guy's just running around fruitlessly doing Lord knows what. Oh good, Oscar heals from the escape square. I totally forgot about that, actually. So let's have Oscar get out of here with Nephany. Bye. And then we're just going to have Ike get out of the way so that Volk can crack open this last treasure chest. A steel lance, interesting. And actually, we're going to have Marsha rescue Ike, but we're not going to bail with him just yet, because again, that ends the chapter, so... What I do need to do, though, is get Volk over here to crack that last chest open. So we're going to rescue Volk with Titania. And go this way. Should be pretty simple, I think. For the most part, we're completely out of danger. We've done everything we need to do to get the maximum effect from everything. We avoided some of the unnecessary stuff, and I'm sorry that cuts into not seeing some of the conversational bits, like with Sephirin or with Kieran, but it's not, you're not missing anything important. And we're going to still get to talk to them after the chapter's over anyway, so... Alright, we're going to put down Volk right here. And just leave Marsha and Ike right where they are. I guess they're getting to know each other. Which does think he's handsome, I suppose, so good for them. Sadly, Ike Marsha is not one of the possible pairings that you can end up with, but... In fact, I don't think Ike has any real romantic pairings at all. Which is kind of weird when you think about it, but... Alright, so Volk's going to crack open the cell. I don't know why they leave a treasure chest inside of a prison room, but what the heck do I know? We're going to have Titania get the heck out of Dodge, too, since she has the opportunity to. Volk's just going to stay there. He's not going to escape. But he doesn't really need to, so that's fine. And this should be the last turn, I think. I think there's a statue frag in that far right chest that Volk's about to crack open. Let's double check my math and see if I'm right here. Yep, statue frag. Alright, cool. We might give that to Boyd. Alright, so Titania's going to run over here and get the heck out of Dodge. And then, of course, finally we bail with Marsha and Ike, and that is everybody. So that's it. That's how you do that chapter without being seen and get all the stuff. Very fun, I suppose. Some of you might not think that was very fun, but I thought it was enjoyable. Brought one of the Crimean soldiers who was being held prisoner. It's probably Kieran. It's Kieran, and he knows who she is. He served under General Joffrey. Oh. This is the only time you hear this battle theme, I think, or this theme rather, the whole knightly honor theme. It's kind of a remix of the recruitment theme from Blazing Sword, like when we got Wallace. So it's very similar to that one. It's really nice. Whoops. Well, I just hit the wrong button. He wasn't going to say anything important. He was just like, hey, I'm going to serve you with the rest of my ability because that's what I do. I'm a soldier. So my bad about that. And here we have Brahm and Nephany because we talked to both of them. So these are like, there's Brahm and Nephany are like just like country, like farmer people. They're part of a local militia. Hmm. So Nephany is very shy and very quiet. She refuses to take that helmet off because she doesn't want people to know that she's like some simple country girl. And also she doesn't talk very much because she's very plain spoken. And she has apparently a pretty thick accent, and she doesn't want anybody to know that either. You can't really tell in this one. In Radiant Dawn, it's a little more obvious because they change the way that Brahm and Nephany talk to match their. They sound like Southerners basically. They sound like country folk. It's kind of the whole deal, I think. Oh, here we go. So here we have Sephirin, and apparently Nephany thinks he's some kind of blessed saint. He is a monk on pilgrimage. Hmm. Huh. Very calm and full of peace. So that is Sephirin. No, he's not. I did not steal my name from him, I promise. Hey, it's Volk again. What does he want? Oh, now he wants to travel with us? Pfft. You've sparked my curiosity. Everything begins and ends with gold. I don't think he minds. I love it. Yeah, we'll let him come. I need a thief, so... thieves can still steal stuff in this game, by the way, as they could in the previous two. The difference is you can actually steal weapons in this game in addition to stealing just like trinkets and stuff. The caveat with that is you cannot steal weapons that are equipped. So if someone's holding more than two or more than one weapon, you can steal the one they're not using. And you also need to have a strength on your thief that is equal to or higher than the weight of the weapon you want to try to steal. Obviously, if you're stealing like an item or a vulnerary or whatever, they don't have weight, so they can steal any of that stuff. And there's also the caveat still, just like in the old days, that you must be faster or at least equally as fast as the guy you're trying to steal from. So there's a little more flexibility with thieving in this game, which is very nice. And of course, they still have the increased Fog of War bonus, although I'm not sure that there's that many Fog of War chapters in this game. I don't think there's any now that I'm thinking about it. There's got to be one, though, right? I can't think of any off the top of my head. No, there is at least one or two. Now that no, I do know there's one. Okay, yep, we're good. So they do still have increased fog of war range, but we won't be seeing that for a little bit. Hey, Ronald's back. By the way, he's been sitting here for a while, but all right. So that was chapter 10. We're a little short on time now, so why don't we go ahead and start up the exposition, I should say, for the next chapter. And then we'll get into the actual gameplay in the following episode. I think there's a little bit. I think there's quite a bit to talk about in this next one, so might as well get rolling, right? Blood runs red. Interesting. This is a curious chapter, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little difficult too, but it's actually it's fun. It's difficult, but it's fun. Pretty decent amount of story exposition too. So we see here Ranulf is covered in a cloak. Dayan hasn't come this far, so they just keep going about their merry lives without any cares in the world because they don't know what's going on. Ignorance is a form of bliss. Truer words were never spoken, Soren. Yep. Soren has a very good point here. Wow. Sometimes Soren has a tendency to get a little real when he talks. And it makes me think sometimes, too. Like, wow, yeah, he's not wrong. Then he says, I have no sympathy for any of these people. And I'm like, wow, okay. The nastier the truth, the blunter he gets. Yep. It's pretty dang the truth there. What's that supposed to mean? Ronald's also a deep thinker, too, which is kind of... You wouldn't necessarily know by looking at him, but he's a very deep thinker, too. I gotta see a man about a ship. Ah. Oh, jeez. Don't mess anything up. I love Ronald. He's awesome. Alright, here's our last battle summary. As you can see, we get 810 bonus experience because we were not detected. That is a boatload of XP. That's 8 free levels for somebody, pretty much. So I am perfectly okay with that. We didn't earn any money, but we didn't spend very much either. In fact, I don't even know what I spent that money on. Oh, opening doors and chests, probably. Yep. 5 chests and 3 doors. That's 400 gold. Yep. For sure. That's funny. We fought excellently. Of course we did. When did we not fight excellently? That's the whole point. Alright, well, here we are at the base. I'm going to go ahead and do some organizing, some re-equipping, maybe assigning some bonus experience. But I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, so I'm not going to bore you guys with any of that. Actually, well, before I do that, why don't I go ahead and do the... Oh, there's a lot of these. There is a lot of these. I will do those in the next time. So let me go ahead and get everything outfitted, and then I will pick back up where we left off right here, and we'll get back on the road. So until that time, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, this has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.